Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing the concept of a having statement in SQL. So I'll start by opening my SQL Server Management Studio. I'm using the latest version, the 21, and it comes in this new interface. It looks this way. Trying to connect. Supposed to have a connection pop-up. Okay. So this is my server name, and always ensure that the trust server certificate is ticked, and then you click on connect. Great. When you see this display, you know that you have connected. Now I will select new query to open a blank sheet for us to write our SQL queries. And when you do that, notice that it's displaying master here. I have a database I created for the purpose of this lesson. So I would navigate to that particular database. That is where I have my data stored. I go to tables. That is where I have it opening. It's taking some time. Okay, let me go straight into business while I wait for it to open. That is where I have my restaurant data set and restaurant operation data set open. So the first thing I would like to do is open up my tables. I want to open using the select statement, which we are already all familiar with. So I'll be typing in select asterisk from restaurant. Okay. Yes. Zip, highlight and execute. I need to open up my table. I also have another table called the operation data set, which we've also been working with. I would just like to open have the select statements for my two tables. Great, so they are all open. Now let's go straight into the business of the day, which is exploring how to use having. I want to select location from my restaurant data set. And that's not all. I also want to count location. I want to count location, and I want to group by location. I want to group by location. And now I'll introduce having a typo error here. Okay, so if I execute this particular statement, it will give me something that looks like this. It's giving me the list of locations I have on my restaurant data set and how many they are. Okay, so I would use an as, so I then give my column name, my result column name. I'll call this total restaurants. Total restaurants. Okay, so let me run this through. Execute. Right. Now, I don't want to see everything. I have a certain condition I want to place. So I want to say having, I want to say having location greater than, maybe 40 or so. or 30, 40. I have to work with the number I have here. So having the count of my location, I'm going to use this, Control C. Greater than 40, something like this. Let's execute it and see. Now, what I have is not a display of all the locations on all the total restaurants I have for each location, but the ones who has restaurants over 40. All right, so from Kaduna upward, Kaduna has a total number of 41 restaurants, followed by Port Harcourt and all of that. So that is how we can use the having statement. The having statement helps you to specify certain conditions. Now let's introduce up to 2 columns because I selected only location, counted location, group by location, and my having statement was based on the count of my location greater than 40. Okay, let me introduce a new column. So I'll just copy this out to save time. I'll copy this out and paste it here, and I want to introduce a column called within type. I think it's in small letter, within type, comma. All right. If I execute this, I'm going to be having an error. What does the error say? It says invalid select is because it is not contained in either an aggregate. That is the cuisine type. All right. It means we have to include the cuisine type column name amongst the group by statement. So, comma, same thing, cuisine type. All right. So now let's execute this and see what our result would be. So now that we included cuisine type and we included greater than 40, we don't seem to have any results. Maybe I should reduce my condition and see to 30. Okay. When I reduced my condition to 30, I was able to get 2 locations, Enugu and Jos. So it's grouping location and cuisine type, and it's counting location greater than 30. All right, so cuisine type is affecting the result we are going to have. Okay, let's say we don't want to specify a particular column. I will just use, let me copy this out. I'll just use the all statement, all, Josie. I didn't know I was deleting that. Let me use asterisk here and asterisk here. I'm not specifying any particular column. It will still give me the same result. Why? Because we are still working with location and cuisine type. Okay, we are not working with the entire table. We are working with just location and cuisine type. Maybe if I had done select asterisk, count asterisk, maybe would have gotten a different result. But it's counting everything for location and cuisine type for us. Okay, let's say count location, right? And having within type. Now I'm working with different columns. Let's see what this would give us. It's still giving us the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Okay. Now that is for having. Having is simply placing a condition. How many do you want to see? Simply placing a condition. All right, so we need to explore, will having work when we perform a join? How do we do that? Remember, we explored join statements, case statements in our previous classes, but let's work with join. So I want to I want to select. Okay, let me just save time. I will just copy this out. Control C, Control V this here as total restaurants. Okay, enter. I want to perform a join. Join. I didn't specify anything, just a general join, a general join type. Join restaurant operations. Let me save myself the hassle by just copying the exact name. Control C. Then I scroll down. Okay, so I think my join statement is wrongly located. My bad. After select all of these from restaurant data set, the next thing that should come up is join. Join this. Now, where are we joining from? Join on for restaurants data set, we need to join on the primary key we selected for restaurant data set, which was our restaurant ID. This one equals restaurant operations data set on its primary key too, which was also restaurant ID. Great. So we have done this. But while we're having errors, if we run this, it's not going to, if we don't even need to run this, we are having errors. And if you look closely, the errors are on our column names. Why are we having this? We have two tables, restaurant data set and restaurant operation data set. These two tables have similar column names. There is location on restaurant data set, there's location on restaurant operations data, restaurant operations data set, same with cuisine type and all of that. So if we say select location and cuisine type, which of the tables where are we going to pick location from? Are we picking location from restaurant data set or restaurant operation data set? Are we picking cuisine type from restaurant data set or restaurant? So SQL is asking to be clear. It's quite confused. If there were different names, maybe we wouldn't have had these issues. So now we are going to introduce the concept of aliasing. It means we need to alias table names so that we can then represent columns based on those table names. For restaurant data set, I want to alias it as a RD, and for restaurant operations data set, I want to alias it as RO, something like that. Take note that the RD and RO came after the major table names, right? So since I have done this, it then means location. I want to pick it from my restaurant data set. So I'm going to use RD dot location. See, immediately I did dot, it displayed the location and that error has cleared. For cuisine type, maybe I will just work with RO dot confirming the column name, and that error has cleared. Now for the count, where am I counting from? Of course, since I selected RD, my location from RD, that's the restaurant data set, then I'll just work with that RD dot. Okay, same thing here, RD dot. And for cuisine type, I'm working with RO dot. Same thing here, RO dot. So all the errors on the column names are cleared, and now we are left with one error that suddenly came up. Why are we having that? Remember, for our aliasing, we displayed restaurant data set as RD and restaurant operations data set as RO. So that means we will not be displaying the entire table name here. I'm going to replace this restaurant data set here with RD, just like we did for location and cuisine type. So RD. And that error has cleared. I'll do same for here, RO. And our aliasing has worked fine. So far, so good, no error. Let's run this through and see the result we are going to have. Now we have more result because we are working with two different tables. We are working with cuisine type from restaurant operations dataset and location from restaurant dataset. So, and we are wanting to display all of our restaurants in these locations that are over locations that has over 30 restaurants, right? And this is what we have: Benin City, Enugu, Ibadan, Lagos. So what if we don't display, we don't give any condition at all? It means we might not have need for the statement having, so I can comment that out. Okay, so if I run this, let's see the result we will have based on this our new combination, the joins. This is what we have. This is the entire result we are going to have. So having is just simply giving certain kind of condition, could be less than, could be greater than or equal to, could be less than or equal to any number of choice, any condition you want to place. Okay, so I'll still be working with my greater than. Maybe this time around I will use. Okay, I'll still work with 30. 30 is fine. You didn't feel me. Okay, this is the result we have. That is for having. Which brings us to my next lesson, where I will be exploring the concept of update, delete, and alter. All right, so I'll be ending this particular class for now.